not exactly the best start when I'm seeing issues. Like quite like jittering around issues. And again, given what I'm going to talk about in this one, this film is not gonna be all sunshines and fucking rainbows. Also, it's fucking static, I can't sing it. That's actually like into a slightly better mood, hopefully. I'm pretty much set up of just kind of tired still. Now, I probably should mention. So let me put this on this one so it's not blocked. So, there's a reason why it's titled that. Also, that's what I'm talking about the fucking gym. You know what? Hold up. You know what? Hold up. That's. I swear to fucking God. Like, already starting with a scuff. I don't know how much of it is to blame because of the fucking camera, or if it's just the way the way I have things set up is just not working for me. Give me a moment. It's not all downhill, although I certainly feel like it has. I would think I've learned by this point, but what did I say about learning lessons? Right. Never mind, it's this again. How does this keep happening? Goodness gracious. But no, let's actually get to what the hell I was talking about, what I was trying to get to. And the reason why I've been making just chatting straight. Specifically for scheduling and shit. So, not that long, well, at this point, might as well be 2 fucking years. I did try to make schedules and stuff. Unfortunately, I've kind of realized that 20% of the time I would actually stick by those schedules. The other 80% is me changing them or constantly rolling back what I would do that week or that month. And it got to a point where it's so inconsistent that I basically stopped doing them altogether. Like, schedules is like the one thing to kind of make things organized, and considering I don't have like certain days where I'm just like, okay, I'm not working, I can stream today. No. It's very inconsistent and very much changes because times in which I'm available change between week to week. Doesn't help that I have open availability because I very much don't have like set dates. Also, this instance of what I was actually trying to get to. Because I don't know, I got so fucking good. Oh my gosh, even it, like, I was going to talk about because of my work schedule, right? But, yeah, no, I was going to get into why, because of the work schedule, I have to wait until pretty much the middle of the week to kind of see what the fuck's up. And that's partially what's dictating when I can stream and when I'm able to do stuff on days that I'm off. Because, you'll be shocked to know this isn't my job. Nor do I know how it would feel if it was. Excellent, just check out. That being said, I keep stopping and starting. That being said, like, I kind of have to like keep track of it between work and when I'm like home. Oh, since I'm gonna be talking about procrastinating, since I'm even now I'm doing that with my own fucking talking. Like, I have a really bad habit of procrastination. Whether it's like my own personal hobbies when I still do them every now and then. Or fucking, not necessarily work, because that's the one time I don't procrastinate. But like, channel stuff. Like, multiple times in posts I mentioned, oh no, I can't do this day or this week. That's probably going to be postponed until another time. Or pretty much how I said, okay, I'm doing this today, or recording or stream X game and then starting Y. And it's pretty much become an issue because, well, I don't have, like, any way to, like, make it predetermined. Excuse me. What ultimately happens is I would start like a project or like the previewing of a project. Like, okay, I'm gonna start this thing. Is it something I'm gonna do for the channel? The answer is, I've mentioned it before, but the answer is yes. That's when I would actually start working on it. But procrastination hits, or plans change entirely, where instead of it being a stream, it's a recording. But then the recording takes forever because I don't know when I would start actually doing any of the recordings. Let alone days when I would actually start editing. That's the other thing. And because I have recordings I'm trying to do more in line with their own streams, what that ultimately means is that trying to keep things consistent means even more procrastination. And things being pushed back even further. But you know what, since I'm already mentioned the schedule, here's what it currently looks like. And chances are even that's gonna change, because things happen. Actually, even now, I might change that to, on Monday, I'm gonna change that to offline, because I'm just now seeing, oh, excuse me, just now seeing the fucking schedule I've been sent for work. I don't know what the fuck I smoked. Actually, no, not Monday. Yeah, I already said Tuesday. So, Monday, like if you see status unknown, it's mainly because I don't know if I'm actually able to do stuff on Monday. Chances are the answer is no, but if that ever changes, you'll see a stream scheduled for Monday. Or whatever days where I have status unknown. Wednesday is a Sealed Palace, which is an OT ROM hack that I wanted to play at some point. But other things got in the way and new releases and stuff. And then after Image, like I mentioned, oh look, another Metroidvania. Like, and one that I'm actually want to actually do for the channel, and not just stuff like Verno Edge, which is a one-off. Because much as I want to do, like, every now and then is like a different project, I also want to stick to actually being able to complete stuff that I start. Because otherwise we get stuff where it's like, oh, it's postponed indefinitely because there's not any traction to it. Where it's like, I'm doing this because I actually want to do them. And because I feel obligated to. Because, well, I start something, might as well finish it. And then comes the issue of, oh, are you going to balance all that about being, you know, entertaining? Because as much as I try to, like, have things be funny, have things be entertaining, have things actually flow, like, input corporate buzzword about synergy, but, like, having a certain flow that I can work with. That's kind of where I'm at an impasse, because I don't know what people find entertaining about my stuff. I know I tend to do very stupid things, and that can be funny, but, like, that's kind of more on-the-spot stuff. That's why I don't make scripts. I tend to improv some of the stuff I say. Maybe I should change that if I'm doing recording. Like, have, like, scripted shit. So I can actually, like, so that there is flow, so that I actually know what the fuck I'm actually trying to go into when I'm talking about. Oh, and since we're talking about, like, keeping things organized, it's not just the fucking schedules I've realized that become inconsistent. You know what else happens with, like, inconsistent shit? What I try to do? Fucking to-do lists. Because while I may not have shown, well, I pretty much made, like, to-do lists on every fucking day. Well, pretty much every fucking day. About, like, what am I doing this? What am I doing today? And pretty much every day, excuse me, oh my god. Pretty much every day I try to, like, do stuff like, try to make absolutely certain I fit in, like, French learning. Because, I've kind of realized that's gonna be a bit of an issue. Especially considering how much it's actually stuck with me. It's starting to stick now, but, like, getting to that point is, frustrating. Again, put this on the side so I can actually see. Because I'm making time to do Sealed Palace playthrough, so that when it actually comes to streaming it, I can actually, you know, have like a flow state where I can talk about shit, playing through the game while it's not being completely distracted and stuff. You know, actually having a flow. Why am I saying flow so much? Trying to have like a balance between entertainment, the gameplay that I'm doing, because it's why I don't do blind playthroughs, and like reading. Because while chat activity may or may not be active, also saving drop frames. You know, actually have some kind of a community while it happens, because I'm actually trying to cultivate some sort of thing where it's like, while I do want to keep doing just chatting stuff, because there's a lot that I tend to want to talk about, there's a lot of things I actually do want to dive into. Or, you know what, excuse me. Or it just ends up being yet another... God forbid I delve into that fucking territory, but like, at some point that's gonna happen, because that's just what happens. For me, anyway. Thoughts flow and shit happens. Also, oh my god, like, I wish I could describe, but like, for the past several days now, I've had Windows, like, automatically fucking minimize. I have no idea how that's happening or why. That's kind of annoying. Especially since I tend to have a certain workflow, and it just gets interrupted because fucking Windows minimize. That's something I gotta make sure I fix before the day ends. Speaking of today, and speaking of work, it all kind of boils over to like balancing between work, the channel stuff, and IRL stuff, because gotta make sure like IRL stuff kind of keeps up to snuff. But I also have work to make sure I actually have some sort of income while keep myself fucking sane and doing the stuff that I want to do. But the channel stuff kind of suffers because while I'm both balancing both those things, it kind of devolves into a fucking game of hot potato. Which do I want to dive into first? Or which am I catching first before doing stuff? That's not healthy. That really isn't healthy. Or could just talk and stuff like that, that would do. I mean, that's kind of what I was trying to dive into. I didn't realize how little it would actually be, because the last year was actually made up of actually having someone to actually bounce ideas back and forth, but like, if nothing else, like, since I'm still using the same schedule screen for, like, the same screen for the schedules, that's pretty much what I'm working with to make schedules every week. And chances are, I'm gonna try and keep it as consistent as possible so that I'm not changing shit in the middle. Or at least not until I officially know what the fuck I'm doing this week. Yeah. Because I know that trying to keep myself organized is kind of paramount so that people know if there's something interesting that they want to see or they want to actually participate in. All they have to do is look at the schedule and be like, okay, here's what's happening. That's why I tried to do schedule initially, but I suck at sticking to schedules. Unless it's literally work. And I don't want to treat this like it's fucking work. It's a hobby for a reason. Also, oh my god, I just realized how fucking short this is gonna be. I wish I had more than I do, but I'm going to stop myself because I guess I could talk about what I tried to do last time I tried to make schedules. Can I? Oh, of course I can. Hold up. Exactly. Oh, wait, I can just select my date. Because more often than not, I would just post, like, here's what I'm doing next. And that's mainly how I try to keep things organized. But, like, how many people actually know what the fuck I'm doing during that time? Because Oh yeah, it was it was last year. What am I saying? 2023. It was last year when I started using like a schedule like screen. This exact one. And because of how many times I've had to do delays or cancellations, hardly anything on the schedule would actually be done. And there were more posts about like how many things were canceled or delayed versus how many times I've actually posted a schedule. Hell, I don't even like post like what I would be doing next because of how much we're put to try and stick things to a schedule. But like, yeah, no, that really didn't help me much. It really didn't, and it probably should have. Well, at least I know what I'm going to be doing. Like, a combination of posting what I'm going to be doing next and the game so people know what the fuck it is. Or just, like I've had previous streams, like, they see the title, they see a thumbnail, and it's like, well, I don't know what this is, George. That might be a me problem, because I would especially try to do it at the start of the stream, what it is that we're doing, but like, I very much don't like repeating myself. That's a me problem. But like, that's kind of where I'm at, really. I'm trying to think now because do I even want to? Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. Oh well. But like, yeah, because I wanted to mention like changes to like the projects that I have. Because what originally was going to be like a recording for May was pushed back to June. And even what I was going to do for June, I changed it to being a stream. Which is why you saw Sealed Palace and After Image. Because Ultimate Trial was going to be in June as a stream. But it's like, well, no, that's probably short enough to be a recording, so I changed things. Everything else, however, is... Watch, no. Momodora. That's pushed to November. But yeah, everything else is kind of the same still. And I'm hoping it stays the same because fuck knows I'm gonna be really bad at trying to keep things organized if even that fails. Just to stay stuck together. Ow. Fucking itchiness. Is there anything else? As I said last time, anything worth mentioning, I guess, because yeah, next week's anything to go down. Next week for work is going to be a bit of a pain. Not to mention the fucking images was fucking blurry, so that's going to be a thing that's going to happen. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it, isn't it? Like, not even an hour stream, and it's kind of... Because that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about. Something that could have been an... Speaking of corporate cringe, stuff that could have been an email. If I had $1. But no, that's gonna be it, isn't it? Like, by the time the stream ends, which will be pretty much soon because there's nothing else, you should see the schedule on the live page, and I'll put a post on what the schedule is. But I just figured I'd put this up here since it was something I always wanted to try and mention, but never could find a space as to when or where. That's gonna be it.